All right, perfect. Well, good morning again. Thank you all for joining us today on September 2nd. It is the last month of the third quarter, so we're gonna have some good stuff for you. I have a couple introductions I want to do, and then we're going to kind of get into the meat of our material. One thing I will share with you is I've been having lots of requests lately for help with listings, help with listing presentations, help with getting listings ready, help with having conversations about listings. And I know that lots of inventory is still coming on the market. And so part of the material that we're going to have today is really talking about what to do to prepare for your listings, especially including Sandy talking about how to prep for those photo shoots and that photography piece of it. So first off, I just want to make sure, I'm going to see if I look around and see if I've got introductions to do here. I don't, let's see, Deborah Comer with Old Republic Home Protection. Can you come on and say hi for us? Unmute yourself. There you go.
Good morning, everyone. I know we have a lot of content, so I'm always an email, text, or phone call away if you have any questions. If you need a quick quote, please never hesitate to call me. Evenings, weekends, that's when you're out there putting deals together. So if you need some quick information, call me anytime. You're never a bother to me. Or if you just need clarity of coverage, or if you have a service issue or a client that's asking for some assistance, give them my cell phone, have them call me directly. I'm so happy to assist anytime. That's what we're here for. Just know you're never a bother. And I look forward to hearing from you. And I hope you all have a safe and wonderful weekend.
Awesome. Thank you, Deborah. We appreciate you and all your support. Let's see, who else do I have on here? I do. Oh, you know what? Josh, will you come on and give us a little marketing minute if you've got anything for us? Okay, while he unmutes himself. All right, while he's figuring that out. Uh-oh, did he just kill himself? Nope, there he is. Okay.
There we go. There's too many buttons on here. Hi, good morning, everyone. Hope you are all doing well. And just to kind of tag onto what Stephanie's saying, in your preparation for taking that listing to go live is whenever you contact me so that I can build all of your social media pieces for you beforehand, so that whenever you get your photos back from Sandy, all we do is simply plug them in and you will have your just listed, your coming soon, you're in escrow, and a sold produced for you in that moment. And then for your open houses, contact me as well on like a Thursday leading into the weekend so that I can get you into the cadence and I'll have time to make your open house pieces for you to blast into your social media as well. So put me on your pre-listing checklist as to reach out to me so that if you want to farm in the neighborhood, we can literally have the postcards ready to go. Just drop it in the photo, send them to the Minuteman Press, and then we're all done. So just remember me whenever you're doing your pre-listing stuff, and I will have a Labor Day announcement out for everyone a little bit later today for them to post on the social media and to enjoy their 3-day weekend. Thank you, everyone. I'm always here for you.
Awesome. Yeah, we have been having some situations lately where agents have been coming to Josh on like Friday and saying, hey, I've got a new listing coming live. Can you get my stuff ready for open house? Please just do all of us a favor, including yourself. Don't put yourself in that position, because if he's already got 6 or 7 projects that he's still got to finish for the day, he may not be able to get to your stuff in time. And it doesn't happen all the time, but there is a lot of inventory coming on the market right now, and he's really busy. It also is a good time for us to just mention that there's also the Moxie option where you can go in and grab those. If it is a Friday, and this has happened to me where I had a closing on a Friday, I didn't have time to get the just list or the just sold from Josh, so I just went onto the greenhouse and into Moxie and grabbed a piece that I was able to post out right away. So there's lots of options for you, and lots of ways that we can help, whether it is whether you have the time to really prepare for it, or even if it's a last minute emergency, we have options for you in that. But yeah,
absolutely.
Thank you, Josh.
I was here, happy to help.
Absolutely. And whatever it is, whether it's something that you need right away, just reach, or something that you are prepping in, reach out to any of us and we're able to kind of get you put in the right direction if you need some help there. Yep. Perfect. Thank you so much. Awesome. And I know Jeff couldn't be here today, but again, we just wanted to make sure that we're reiterating to you that we're having you guys get in front of him whenever you can. I've had lots of you reach out again for those listing presentation pieces that you needed help with. I've been able to help in some cases, but in lots of cases, we're pulling stuff from Moxie that you're able to use. The best bet is please don't do this the moment you get a listing appointment, or the moment that you're ready to go for a listing appointment. I want you to get this stuff prepared and ready now. And the reason I say that, we just had an agent a couple weeks ago that had an appointment, and we are trying to pull all this stuff together for her. And all we could do in that moment was just do our very best. All we could do is just get the best we could in front of her, but we knew it wasn't the best that we could put out. And so we continued to modify that presentation until we got something that she really liked. But I want to tell you, it probably took us a week and a half to 2 weeks to get everything finished. So just understand, if you've got a listing presentation and you want to do something really simple, we can pop that out in 5 minutes. But if you really want something custom to your business, take the time now. This is the time to get yourself ready, so that when season hits and all those listings are ready to come on the market in November, you're ready to go. You have a little bit of time left. You have about 2 months left before that wave really hits. And we know that listings are not coming as easily as they once were. In other words, you're having to have more conversation with the sellers, and you're having to show your value and your worth in a way that you didn't have to a little while ago, which is why this business, so I don't want to say it became easy, but it became very plentiful. And so now that things are not, they're not receding, it's just the growth is slowing that we're having. So now that that's happening and things are slowing down just a touch for us, you guys really have a great opportunity right now to get yourselves prepared with those listing presentations and buyer presentations and any other presentation that you think you might need to be put together, or even a lease listing presentation we can help you put together if you're going to be doing lots of those. So just make sure that you reach out to us. I'm going to be reaching out to you guys. I've done some outreach this week. I'll be candid, I haven't gotten through all of it. So some of you will still be getting phone calls from me today and maybe even this weekend if that's what it takes, but we will get through making sure everybody gets a phone call, just so that we can start getting you guys ready and get you on my calendar as well, so we can start talking about strategies for yourself for this upcoming season. Like we said, things are shifting a little bit, so we just want to make sure everybody's prepared. I see we have Sean Muro on the call. Do you want to unmute yourself and say hi? You have anything exciting for us from the lending world?
Hi, everybody. Sorry, I'm late. Clients. You know what? I wholeheartedly agree with Stephanie. You do have this moment in time. Actually, we've been telling our division that, you know, to get ramped up, get ready, because that other wave is coming. But as far as lending, jobs report came out today, and it was not good. So it was in our favor. So we're everything's kind of moving towards us right now. Again, we are expecting a correction and rates to dip in about 6 to 8 months when the hard recession hits. So, you know, I tell all your clients, focus on that house. Do not pay attention to the interest rate. You're only dating it. You're not married to it, because it's going to change, right? And as soon as that happens, we'll move you down. So interest rate does not matter right now. Just keep moving forward, keep your eye on the ball. So that's kind of how I've been handling them, and they get it, you know, and I show them the difference, you know, in their payment. It's not that much. And truly interest rates could be much higher.
Yeah.
I mean, we've seen it, most of us. Some of you are too young, Eric.
Well, well, yeah, yeah, and I mean, we are still in a situation where the government is subsidizing our rates, and we really,
Yep.
It could be so much different than it is today. And so and there will be some more shifts in the market. There will be more changes. This is why now is the time for you guys to get those presentations together. And the funny thing is, after we did that presentation for the agent that I was just referring to, we also sat down and started working on the script she's going to use as she's delivering the presentation. So the piece you take with you is one thing, but what do you say when you're sitting there with the client? That's another piece that we're working on. So I do have some more classes that are going to be coming up where we're really going to be digging into that. And one that we started talking about too was a course that we've taken before called Language of Sales. And it really talks about how to write your own scripts and the kind of language that you need to use in order to get clients motivated to move towards their goal. And so we'll be working a ton with you guys on that. Before we move to the next piece, I see Jeff popped on. So Jeff, do you want to unmute yourself and say hi?
Hey guys, how are you?
Good.
Yeah, everyone.
Anything tech-wise you want to share with us?
Yeah, that's actually why I jumped on really quickly. I just got off of a call with John with Leads Engine.
Yes.
And so Moxie. If you haven't taken the time to actually set up your Moxie Engage account, you should do so. That does it with the Leads Engine. You will still get your leads should they come through your website or is a company generated lead. However, it won't be trackable and you can't manage it through your CRM, Moxie, Engage. So you do need to take the moment to just, even if you don't migrate all of your information over to the Moxie Engage at this point, if you'll just activate it and actually select the option in Moxie to accept leads, you can then, we can track it and help you be more productive and proactive with leads that come in for you, especially because the way it's set up is that if you have a listing, the lead is going to go directly to you first, obviously. Now, there are some time restraints in this because we don't want anyone out there waiting to talk with someone, because we know how buyers and consumers are. When they want something, they want it now. So as a listing agent, you have about 15 minutes to respond, or it goes into the round robin process. If you will activate your Moxie Engage, which is very simple, it gives you a lot more ability to communicate and respond to that client more quickly than opposed, we don't always check our emails or get our emails as quickly as they come in. And outside of, if you haven't actually set your Moxie up, you would only be receiving an email. You wouldn't get like a phone ringing, your computer dinging, messages. Like when I get a lead that comes through Moxie, everything in my house flashes and blinks. You get all of the notifications everywhere. Whereas if you don't have that Moxie portion actually activated, you will only get an email that will have the details of the potential.
So what I'm hearing, Jeff, is each person on this call needs to get an appointment with you, right? Whether we're reaching out to them or they're reaching out to us, so that we can just make that change.
You can totally do that, or you can just literally log right into the greenhouse and go down to Moxie Works and click on Engage, and that will activate it. I mean,
that's all they have to do is just go to Moxie Works, click on Engage.
You just need to log into your Engage system one time. It will ask for your email address, which needs to be any provided email or a Gmail domain.
Do you want to share screen real quick and just show everybody exactly what the few simple steps that you just talked about? Do you have that in a way that you can pull that up?
I do. You just come back to me in just a second. Let me prepare for that. Okay.
Okay, sure, no problem. All right, and as a matter of fact, we might just do it at the end after we move on to the next piece. So you'll have a little bit of time, and I just fixed it so that you can share screen as well. Okay, so we'll come back to that and show everybody an example of how to get into how to open that Engage piece, just so you can see it. It is really simple. If you've ever logged into Greenhouse before, you'll know exactly what he just told you to do, and it's very simple. But we'll show it on the screen. That way, anybody later that watches is able to go in and make that change for themselves. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and move on to the meat of our presentation. We have a special guest speaker here with us today, Sandy Swett from Red Door Pictures. And she has been, as most of you know, I think everyone on this call that's joined us has met with Sandy. And Sandy has done your headshot. She does all of our professional headshots for our company. And as well, she does real estate photography, and she does pet photography. She does all kinds of photography, all sorts of different things. And so we wanted to invite her on today to come talk about some things that she thinks are important for you to know as far as the photography marketing piece of pulling together your listings, what services she has available, and then some tips that she has for you on what you can best do to prepare your listing for when she and her team show up to shoot that photography. Does that sound about right, Sandy? Does that sound about right, Sandy?
That sounds perfect. Thank you for the interview. Can you all hear me?
Yep, absolutely. We're good to go.
So for those of you that don't know me, I am Sandy Swett, and I'm the owner of Red Door Pictures. And I actually have just entered my 9th year of business here in the Coachella Valley. And I do have a studio located in Palm Desert as well. Those of you that have done your headshots, thank you for visiting me. It's located on Highway 111 between Panorama and Deep Canyon. I also have besides myself, I have one employee that works with me. Her name is Cassia Hall. She came on board with me about 1 year and 4 months ago. And she was relatively green to photography, but had a very high interest. And I saw some ability there, so I brought her on. She initially was my production assistant. She is now an associate photographer and does really amazing work. I'm quite pleased with her. I don't know how many of you have had an opportunity to work with her. You have. Thank you, Stephanie. And you have, Eric. That's right. She does good work. Yeah, thank you. So the importance of photographs now, or real estate photography, is probably more important now than it was a year ago. because things were literally selling so quickly. At sometimes I had agents say, you know, I've got you scheduled, and then they would say, it's sold. Well, the market, as we all know, has shifted a bit, and it's probably going to become more critical for you guys to stand out as realtors, whether you're a listing agent or a selling agent. But professional photos really elevate you in the eyes of the potential seller, because you take the time, money, and care to hire a professional photographer so that we can take images that are really good of their home. And I consider it my job to provide such good images that it motivates people to want to either book an appointment or come to an open house. It's getting people through the door. And that's what I feel a big part of my imagery is about. So many of you may not know all the services that we offer, but it is real estate photography. We also do the Matterport 3D tours. And I kind of call the photography part of it is the pretty and the beauty of the property and the feel of the property. And I consider Matterport 3D really like the facts of the property, because it's a self-guided tour. The viewer actually takes themselves through, and they can go in between rooms, they can go outside, they can go inside. I do have, well, I think it's the latest Matterport camera. I actually heard rumblings are coming out with another new one, but I have the latest technology available on the Matterport 3D tour. In addition to that, we do physical twilights. So we go out to the property and shoot twilights. I also do Photoshop twilights, or we also do Photoshop twilights. If you don't want to make the investment of getting a Matterport tour, one of the things that we also offer is what's called an RTV tour. And it's a very polished slideshow. It's set to music. We provide branded and unbranded versions so that you can place it on the MLS, you can use it on social media and on your website. When you do the RTV tour, it actually comes with a property website. So that's kind of a cool little feature, which the Matterport doesn't do, but if you have a website, of course, you can also place all of that stuff on there. Let's see, what else? Did I mention virtual staging? So I'm not sure if I did or not, but it's really pretty darn good now. Whereas when virtual staging started, I'm going to say probably 6 years ago, roughly, it was a little wonky then. It could be outsized furniture, stuff like that. It's really pretty good now. So that's an opportunity. I also do drone or aerial photography. And as mentioned before, in my studio, branding, headshots, portraits, and we also do cover events, including weddings. One of the things we are working on at Red Door Pictures is both Cassia and I are in training right now to learn how to do high quality, kind of dynamic real estate videos, because I'm not a trained videographer. I am a trained photographer. I don't think it's going to be a huge leap for me to learn, but there's some major technicalities that I have to learn in order to be able to put out a good product. And I wouldn't put out anything less than a really good product. So we're working on that. And my hope is that before the end of this year, we will both be fully trained and able to offer that service as well. You know, I'm a local business, I'm a small business, and I definitely appreciate any support that you guys can give me. And Cassia. And what I did is I prepared a preparing for the real estate shoot list. And I also did a headshot guideline. I provided that in an email to Stephanie, and I know it was like a minute before the meeting, so I'm sure you haven't seen it. But anyway, it's there. Stephanie will have it. Okay, perfect. So I'm just going to go over really quickly a short list. If you're going to pay the money to have professional photos, it is my suggestion that you take that preparing for a real estate shoot list, provide it to your client. You're providing them a service. You're telling them.
Do you want? I have it in my email. Do you want me to pull it up and share it on the screen?
You can, sure. Yeah.
Okay. The preparing for the shoot one, right? Okay.
Yeah.
Sure. I'll share screen.
That's great. Thank you, Steph.
Sure. Of course. There we go.
So this is the preparing for the shoot. And it basically gives you an overall guideline. I'm going to call this the the long list, but I'm going to go over the short list with you verbally. So the short list for me is, and this really applies for homes that might have a really spectacular view, you got to have clean windows. You don't want to be looking at dirt through the windows to see the great view. When I'm there, I definitely want all lights on, and I like all lights on during the entire shoot. And the reason for that is because sometimes people want to go through and start shutting things down before I'm done, but it creates like black hole darkness in the background. I don't like that. I like a really light, bright image. Also, fans are off. These are still images. If fans are on, they're going to be a blur in a picture. I don't think that looks good. All water features, if it's a waterfall in a swimming pool or a fountain, all of those should be on. That should be on before we get to the shoot. This is a big one. Counters free of clutter. Less is more in real estate photography. So that would include things, and I'm quite often surprised that I have to say it, but things like toothbrushes, or if there's too many appliances on the kitchen counter. I'm not saying make it look stark. I'm saying make it look clean. So not 10 or 15 appliances on the counter, make it 2 to 4 appliances on the counter. Nothing in the shower is a good thing too. If people have a really nice shower that I'd like to be able to showcase because they've done some beautiful tile work, you don't want the shampoos and stuff in the shower. People want to imagine their stuff in it, not the stuff of the current owner. And then another thing for me that I think creates a much cleaner look is not having a bunch of small rugs all over the place. Now, if it's rug being used for decor or under furnishings, that's totally fine. What I'm talking about are the mats that you walk in or out of a door, or sometimes sitting in front of the kitchen sink or a cooktop appliance. We want to remove those. We want to keep it as clean as possible. I do tend to shoot in the light and bright manner, but I still create good detail in the images for the final product. But that's kind of my short list on preparing for it. But the list that you see on here is actually a more inclusive and full list, because you don't want cars in the driveway. And as you know, you probably cannot have, or you cannot have signs up. They can't be in the photos, at least. If they're already up, I've got to Photoshop them out, or place something in it. Usually what I do is place a picture of the home on that. I think that kind of covers everything I wanted to go over, but I don't know if anybody here has any questions for me, because I'm a resource for you. And if you have any questions, whether it be now or later, certainly feel free to reach out to me by text, phone, or email. I would love to be of service to each and every one of you.
You did. Got it. All right. Absolutely, Sandy. Thank you so much. We appreciate
Sandy,
it.
I have a question for you. Just hearing about all of your amazing features now, Matterport. Sometimes I know that these are expensive. They're expensive attributes to add to a listing or to a.
Yes.
Is there an option, or could there be an option to pay for these services out of escrow?
I typically don't do that, simply because it may not close, or it may not close, or your relationship may go away. I typically charge at the point that I do the photo shoot, because I've completed my portion of the work at that point.
Yeah, and to be honest, Jeff, there are some situations, depending on what it is, and I would encourage the agents to come chat with me about it if they have that situation, because in some cases, I mean, there's really great scripts for why the seller should pay for some of that stuff. And so if there's a situation where we're taking a listing for a short period of time, or we're taking a listing that maybe we're not quite sure about, there's definitely ways to engage the seller in purchasing part of that. Also, if you want me to reduce my commission, there's portions of my marketing package you don't get if I don't get paid in full. And so which part of that do you want to pay for yourself, or which part of that do you want to forego? And then how do we feel like that's going to affect the speed with which your house is going to sell? So before we get to that place, make sure you come have a conversation with me, and I'll help you with some scripts to help overcome some of that stuff. But yeah, there's some things that are just the cost of selling a home Part of it is the marketing and the preparation for it. A lot of times as agents, we take that on, but it's very similar to the cost of buying a home, doing a home inspection. You pay for that up front, and you pay for that at the time that you get the inspection, because again, it's not dependent on the house closing. That person needs to get paid for their services. And so if this is all in preparation of that, but it's also a great point that as agents, we need to pay attention to where we're spending our money and what we're doing. And when we spend that kind of money on a listing, I mean, there was a day and time where we used to take them, we didn't even have a good enough camera on the phone. Like, you would just buy a little camera and take them for yourself. We're way beyond those days. Even little condos and mobiles are getting professional photos. Even vacant land is getting professional photos in some instances. Daniel's shaking his head. I know you see that sometimes, especially with drone footage and things like that. So if you have challenges with that stuff, definitely come chat with us. And Sandy, again, I have used Sandy. She has done all of our headshots in the office as of recent. And I've also used her on a couple projects for myself. And as well, Cassia has come out and shot a couple properties for me as well. And it's all been a wonderful experience. So thank you guys. Thank you both. And thank you so much for all the hard work you've done. I know we've kind of we've had a little like run around with trying to figure out the headshots that we're doing and making sure we all know what's going on. But I think because of that, Josh and Sandy and I sat down together and came up with a plan for what we want that to look like. And it's very similar to what she has for when she goes out to shoot your houses. So there's just a systematic, strategic way that Sandy goes about doing things. And I appreciate it. I know you guys will as well. So thank you for being here today, Sandy. We really do appreciate it.
Thank you. It was my pleasure. And I do want to add that for those of you that don't want to make an investment in Matterport, because I understand it. I mean, especially on a less expensive home, less commission, it makes more sense to do an RTV tour. And they're very nice tours. You know, they're two different styles. Basically, it's a slideshow based off the pictures, but that is an option as well. When the budget isn't there for Matterport, might want to jump in and do an RTV tour, because they're quite good as well.
Sandy, what was the cost again for Matterport?
It varies. It's based on the size, because every home, you know, and they start, I think my minimum is 200. And, you know, it goes all the way up, because I've done 10,000 square foot homes. So it just depends on the size of the home. But all of my pricing is on my website, and you can also book appointments online.
Oh, that's
visit www.reddoorpix.com, and you can book both Cassia and myself.
Wonderful. Awesome. Well, Sandy, thank you again so much. We do appreciate you being here. Okay, let's see. What else do I have for today? I wanted to share a couple things with you. First off, I just wanted to reiterate for all of you, I'm going to be setting appointments with you guys to get together and working on your listing presentations and working on your buyer presentations and anything else that you guys have a need for. We have a couple things coming up. I didn't see the desert housing report, so I don't have a report for you today, but I'm going to, maybe it just hasn't come out yet. It is the 2nd, but I feel like I'm missing another month. I feel like we didn't do August, or maybe it was, I got to go back and look. I don't know. August should be coming out. So we'll probably do that at our next meeting. We do have some save the dates. We have our all office meeting is next Wednesday, September 7th at 4 p.m. And as a matter of fact, I wanted to share, I had the graphic for that up here just a few moments ago. I wanted to share it with you so you guys can all see where it was going to be. Oh man, I just had it in front of me. Sorry about this, guys. There it is. Okay, so let's see if I can pull this up and share it with you. Because it was going, if you didn't get a chance, the reason I'm so adamant about this is if you didn't get an opportunity to go to Morgan's broker open this week that she had at her listing at 2560 North Star Road in Palm Springs, that is going to be the location for our office meeting. It is a really cool property. If you didn't get a chance to go take a look at it, please don't miss this meeting. We're going to be, I heard a rumor that we're potentially trying to do some sort of a pool party there. Of course, I had questions about insurance binders because that's just how my brain works. But I know that we're planning our office meeting there. It is a super cool property. So you've got to come and check out this backyard and check out all the amenities that it has. It is just a really neat house. So we're excited to have all of you there. and to come see it. It will be again next Wednesday at 4 o'clock, 2560 North Star Road in Palm Springs is where that will be. And then our next meeting will be Friday, September 16th. That'll be the next time that we get together. In the meantime, though, I know we're really short today. I don't have too much else. Does anybody have any wants or needs that they want to share? Any listings coming up that you want to share, or any buyer needs that you have that you want to get out there right now? No? All right. Okay. And you guys know I don't like to just have a meeting to have a meeting. So I'll let you guys have a half hour of your life back today, and don't hesitate to reach out if there's anything that we can do to help. We just know we're all here. We know that the shift is a little weird and everybody's feeling kind of iffy about it, but just know there's still lots of business happening, lots of business opening and closing. And there was a little 30 days where there was kind of a bit of a lull, but things are getting back to, I don't want to say back to normal. They're getting back to the normal of times past, back to a normal market, right, Sean?
Right, absolutely.
So,
absolutely.
and actually, as a matter of fact, something just came out from CAR this morning that I was reading, and it said prices are clearly increasing at a slower rate, but it's important to bear in mind that deceleration and decline are two entirely different things, and that prices are still rising at a robust clip. What that also means is that you guys need to start running the comps in your farms again and in your neighborhoods that you specialize in, so that you know what's happening there, because maybe prices aren't going up in your neighborhood. You know what I mean? You need to know what that looks like in your local neighborhoods. So that's another thing that we specialize in. Josh specifically is amazing at pricing property. Anytime I do pricing, I'm very conservative. So if you want the low number, you come to Steph. If you want the aggressive number, you go to Josh.
Which is a strategic number. There's three different versions.
But to be honest, to be candid, it's not a bad thing. It's why I have Josh run the same numbers on comps. When I'm running comps, I want to see what his idea is on it. And it's something that, to be candid, we all love to do. So anytime that you're having a challenge or just aren't even sure, maybe just want a second set of eyes on it, reach out to any or all of us. And we're all happy to run comps with you and help you get prepared for those conversations that you guys need to have in the field. We know it's challenging out there. We know you're feeling it. So just know that we're here. You're not in it alone, and we're just here to help. We're here to support you in any way that we certainly can. So I'll be in touch with the rest of you today. If you haven't heard from me this week, you'll get a call from me before the end of the day or Saturday. And like I said, we're just here to help. So let us know what we can do. All right, take care. Have a great weekend. And I think Josh and I know John will be in town. We're all available this weekend. If you have any challenges throughout the
I'm
Labor Day
available.
weekend, and Sean's always available.
I'm always available.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure she had that laptop with her on the boat when she was fishing in Cabo.
100%.
Exactly. All right. So we're all here to help if you need anything. Oh, one thing I did want to share, Eric, did you have an experience with Sean that you shared with me earlier this week with getting a client pre-approved? Was it you or someone else?
It was someone else. I wish I had that for provide. I will be doing an open house this weekend at Fort Palm. I'm not sure of the date yet. That just came in right now. So
Okay, perfect.
Okay.
I will. So come say hi.
Awesome.
But look at my social media and you can get the date and the time on there, but it'll most likely be Sunday.
Awesome.
Right.
Wonderful.
And for any of you that have open houses, people that are coming through, ask them, are you pre-approved? Because if you're not, my lender will do it on the spot and you call me and I can do it right then and there.
Love that.
Absolutely.
So, okay. Because that's important. So many shoppers out there and they get you engaged and they're not even pre-approved yet. We don't even know if you should be in this house.
Right.
And what happens is,
Sean, it would be really helpful if you, next time you're around, could you drop a stack of cards off to each of our offices just so that I can make sure they've got them readily available in case.
Well, we're coming into town Tuesday. So we'll be there Tuesday through Friday.
Perfect. Sounds good. All right. Well, we're all here to help. If there's anything you guys need, let us know, reach out, and we'll be available. Have a great weekend, and I'll see you next week.
See you then.
Bye, guys.